Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something I've learned after years of conversations, counseling, and just living life. 95.7% of men chase women who do this. And I'm not talking about just being pretty or wearing the right dress. I'm talking about something way deeper than looks. See, a real man doesn't just fall for what's on the outside. Nah. What makes him want to keep you is who you are on the inside and how you carry it on the outside. Let me break this down for y'all real quick. Confidence is the ultimate attraction. I ain't talking about arrogance. I ain't talking about somebody acting like they better than everybody in the room. I'm talking about that quiet strength, that inner peace that shows up before you even say a word. A confident woman can walk into a room full of folks and not say a thing and still turn heads. Why? Because her energy introduces her before her mouth ever does. She ain't looking around for approval. She ain't checking the mirror every 5 seconds to make sure she's enough. She already knows she's enough. That right there is what makes men stop in their tracks. See, a man can smell confidence like it's perfume. I promise you, a woman who carries herself with that energy, like I know my worth, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not afraid to eat alone if I got to. Whoo, that's powerful. That's the kind of woman a man will chase, not just approach. He ain't just shooting his shot. He's trying to earn his place in her life. Because he knows she ain't for play. He knows she ain't desperate. And more than that, he knows she's selective. And there's nothing more attractive than someone who don't need you, but chooses you. Now, let's be real. The world does everything it can to knock a woman's confidence. Tells her she ain't skinny enough, tall enough, quiet enough, loud enough, soft enough, whatever. And if you listen to that mess long enough, you start to shrink yourself. You start thinking you got to change who you are to be loved, to be chosen, to be validated. But I'm here to tell you, confidence is not about being perfect. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, knowing you got flaws, but still walking like God made no mistakes when he made you. I've seen it time and time again. You got two women, one might fit society's definition of beauty, but she insecure, always looking around for attention, always doubting herself. Then you got another one, maybe she don't fit the mold, but she walks with her head high, speaks with intention, and owns every room she steps into. 9 times out of 10, that second woman, she's the one who gets pursued. Because confidence can't be faked. You can wear designer, get the hair done, nails done, everything done, but if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't carry that light inside, it's going to show. And a man will see that. A real man will chase the one who's already whole, not the one who's looking for him to complete her, but the one who completes herself. And let me tell you what confidence does for your standards. When you're confident, you don't entertain everybody just because they look good or got money. You don't respond to nonsense. You don't settle for maybe. You walk away from confusion because you know peace is more valuable than company. That's what confidence does. It makes you unbothered by the games. It makes you immune to manipulation. It makes you choose quality over attention. And when a man sees that, when he sees you not afraid to be alone, that you ain't waiting on nobody to define your value, he gets serious real fast. See, confidence isn't loud. It don't gotta scream. It whispers. I'm enough. And that whisper echoes louder than any shout. It's in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you don't chase love, you attract it. You draw it in by being rooted in who you are, by walking in your truth, by not letting the world shake the foundation you've built for yourself. That's the type of woman who becomes unforgettable. That's the woman who leaves a mark on a man's soul. That's the woman who makes him rise to the occasion, not just show up, but show out for her. Let's get one thing real straight. Men don't chase desperation, they chase standards. There's something about a woman who knows what she wants, what she will and won't tolerate, that drives a man crazy in the best way. Now, I've seen it happen over and over. A woman drops her standards just to keep a man around, thinking maybe if she bends enough, he'll stay. But baby girl, let me tell you, when you do that, you don't get a man, you get a project. And a grown woman ain't got time to be raising no grown boy. You want to know the truth? A man respects what he has to rise to. Let me say that again for the people in the back. A man respects what he has to rise to. If you hand him the whole buffet without him even earning a seat at the table, he's going to treat it like a fast food stop. Eat quick, leave quicker. But when you make it known that your time, your energy, your love, your body, all of that is a privilege, not a right, now he's looking at you different. You're not just another option. You're the standard. Now, I'm not saying you got to be rude or arrogant or act like nobody's good enough for you. That's not standards. That's ego. I'm talking about being clear about who you are, what you value, and what you refuse to accept. If a man comes to you half-stepping, bringing confusion, playing games, and you entertain it just because he fine or he say the right things, then you're showing him that all he has to do is show up with potential. But let me tell you something. Potential ain't a plan. And your standards, they need to be rooted in your worth, not your wounds. When a woman is operating from desperation, it shows. She overextends, overgives, overcompensates, just hoping he'll see her value. But a woman with standards, she lets a man prove himself. She knows that love is a two-way street. She ain't out here applying for the role of pick me. She is the prize, and she acts like it, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. See, a woman with standards doesn't fall for every apology. She looks at the pattern, not just the promise. She doesn't excuse red flags just because she's scared to start over. She doesn't trade her peace just to keep someone around. She doesn't say yes when her soul is screaming no. And here's what's wild. The minute she starts walking like she's not afraid to walk away, the whole game changes. Now that man sees he can't just slide through with bare minimum. He can't breadcrumb her with attention and expect a full course commitment in return. And you know what else? A man may test your standards. That's real. He might see if you really mean what you say. And if you cave every time he brings flowers after messing up, if you keep letting him back after disrespecting you, you teach him how to treat you. But when you stand firm, even when your feelings say stay and your standards say go, you level up. You become the type of woman who's not just desired, but respected. You ever wonder why some women never seem to chase, never seem to beg, and yet they always got men pursuing them seriously? It's not because they're perfect. It's because they don't move out of fear. They don't say yes just to avoid being alone. They understand that alone and peaceful beats together and miserable any day. And men feel that energy. A man knows when a woman has options, even if she don't say it. He can tell she ain't afraid to keep it moving if he don't come correct. Let me get this off my chest right now. The world done twisted the definition of femininity so bad that a lot of women out here think being soft means being weak. But I'm here to tell you today, femininity is not weakness. It's one of the greatest forms of power a woman can have. Somewhere along the line, people started confusing loud with strong, aggressive with confident, cold with independent. Nah, baby. Real femininity, that's a quiet storm. It don't need to scream. It don't need to fight. It just is, and it moves mountains without breaking a sweat. A feminine woman doesn't have to compete with a man to prove her worth. She already knows it. She doesn't have to raise her voice to be heard because her presence already speaks volumes. That energy, that calm, graceful, nurturing, intuitive spirit, it's like water. And water might look soft, but let me tell you, water shapes stone. Water carves valleys. Water is essential. And a woman standing in her feminine energy, she's just as necessary, just as powerful, and just as unstoppable. See, a lot of women got hurt, they got disappointed, betrayed, disrespected, and instead of healing, they built walls, told themselves, I gotta be hard now, got to show no emotion, I got to play this game like a man. But what that does is rob you of your natural power. It dims your light, the thing that separates you, the thing that makes you captivating, that softness, that vulnerability, that emotional strength. It gets locked away. And yeah, you might feel safe behind that wall, but ain't nobody getting in either. Not the wrong one, but not the right one either. And let's clear this up. Femininity is not about how you dress or whether you cook or if you wear makeup. It's about how you move. It's about the energy you carry. A feminine woman has strength, but it's not loud. It's rooted. It's unshakable. She don't beg for love. She don't chase validation. She knows that she don't have to do too much to receive. She just has to be. She attracts naturally because that energy, it pulls a man in, not just physically, it touches something deeper. It makes him want to provide, protect, pour into her because real men are drawn to real feminine energy like bees to honey. They don't want to fight with you, compete with you. They want to lead, and they want to do it for a woman who knows the power of letting him be a man while she remains in her divine space. Now, I know some folks hear that and say, well, I don't need a man to lead me. Cool, be independent, handle your business. But being in your feminine ain't about needing a man. It's about allowing the right one to show up for you. It's about trusting your intuition, protecting your peace, knowing when to speak and when to be still. It's about understanding that surrendering ain't the same as giving up your power. It's redirecting it, channeling it. Because a woman in her feminine energy can change the entire mood of a room just by walking in it. She brings peace where there's chaos. She brings warmth where it's cold. And that is power. You know what else? Femininity is healing for you and for him. It allows a space where softness is safe, where emotions can exist, where love can breathe. You don't have to be a machine to be respected. You don't have to be emotionless to be successful. You can cry and still be strong. You can be gentle and still be powerful. You can be nurturing and still demand respect. In fact, the more you lean into your true feminine nature, the more you command a different level of love, a different level of effort, a different level of man. So don't run from it. Don't harden yourself just to survive. Stand in your feminine strength like the queen you are. Because when you embrace it fully, when you stop apologizing for being soft in a hard world, when you realize your emotions are not a burden but a gift, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when you start attracting love that honors you. That's when a man doesn't just want you, he's inspired to be better because of you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is power. Let me tell you something, ladies. Mystery keeps the chase alive. Now, I know you might be thinking, what does that even mean? Shouldn't I just be myself? Shouldn't I be open and honest? And absolutely, being real is important. Don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between being open and overexposed. When you reveal everything about yourself too soon, when you put all your cards on the table from day one, you kill the excitement. You take away the thrill. You rob him of the opportunity to discover you. And let me tell you, discovery is one of the most exciting parts of any relationship. And when that's gone, the chase fades too. See, the magic of mystery isn't about playing games or being fake. It's about creating space for a man to wonder. It's about leaving just enough to the imagination, making him want to learn more, unravel more, figure out the layers of who you are. You've got to understand, men love the pursuit. We're wired that way. The thrill of chasing something we really want, of cracking the code to someone's heart, is what keeps us coming back for more. But once you give it all away, once he knows everything, the chase is over and the excitement begins to fizzle out. Now, I'm not talking about keeping everything a secret like some kind of mystery movie plot. No. What I'm saying is, don't feel the need to show him every single part of your life from the jump. You don't have to tell him every detail about your past, your struggles, your fears. You don't have to overshare just because you think it'll bring you closer. No, you build intimacy over time. You give a little piece of yourself at the right moment and let that moment sink in. You make him earn your trust. You let him show that he's worth knowing all the little things that make you, you. It's how you build a real connection. Not by pouring everything out in one conversation, but by giving him pieces of you, letting him connect the dots, and leaving him curious enough to stick around and keep looking for more. Here's the thing, men are natural hunters. That's why when you show all your cards too soon, the chase dies. Men don't want to feel like they've already won the prize before the game is even over. We want to earn it. We want to feel like we've worked for it, that we've put in the time and effort to understand you on a deeper level. And when you give him the opportunity to do that, when you let him pursue you in a way that feels earned, that's when the attraction deepens. The more you withhold, the more interested he becomes. But it's not manipulation, it's just human nature. The less he knows, the more his curiosity pulls him closer. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should play hard to get or be distant for no reason. What I am saying is that you should hold on to your value. Keep your mystery intact. Let him see you're not just here to entertain him. Let him see that he has to work to win your affection. And by work, I don't mean buying you expensive things or saying sweet words all the time. I mean putting in the effort to get to know you on a deeper level. Making sure he's showing up in ways that prove he's worth your time and energy. You see, when you keep a little mystery about you, you don't just keep the chase alive, you also protect your own emotional well-being. Because when a man is always chasing, he's always invested. He's always showing up with his best foot forward, trying to prove that he's the right one for you. That's when the respect comes in. That's when you know he's in it for the long haul, because he's not just checking boxes or getting too comfortable. He's still working for your love, and that makes him value it more. And trust me, when a man feels like he has to chase and he's genuinely invested in the pursuit, he's more likely to treat you with the respect and care you deserve. It's not about playing games. It's about maintaining your dignity and allowing the relationship to grow in a natural, organic way. When the mystery is gone too soon, there's nothing left for him to explore, and that can cause things to go stale. But when you know how to balance giving and withholding, that's when the magic happens. So ladies, keep a little something to yourself. Let him chase. Let him put in the effort to show that he's worthy of your time and attention. Because the chase, that's where the excitement, the passion, and the deep connection come from. And a real man, the one who's serious about you, he'll respect it, he'll work for it, and that's how you know he's in it for the right reasons. Let me tell you something, ladies. When a woman is walking in her purpose, she becomes magnetic. I'm talking about that kind of woman who knows exactly what she's about. She has goals, dreams, and a direction in life. She doesn't wake up every day wondering what she's going to do with her time or her energy. No, she's out here moving with intention, chasing after something bigger than just a man or a relationship. She knows that her value isn't tied to the love or attention she gets from someone else. It's rooted in the vision she has for her own life. And that's what makes her so attractive. See, a woman who knows her purpose isn't just focused on what's right in front of her. She's thinking about the future, the impact she wants to make, the legacy she wants to leave behind. She's already living in the fullness of her potential. And when you meet a woman like that, you know right away that she's not here to settle for anything or anyone less than what she deserves. And you know what? That energy is powerful. Men pick up on it. We can feel it when a woman is driven by something bigger than herself. And here's the thing. When a woman is purposeful, she becomes a beacon. She pulls people toward her, not because she's looking for validation, but because her light is shining so brightly that you can't help but notice her. You can't help but want to know what she's all about, what drives her, what keeps her motivated. That's the kind of woman men want to build with. That's the kind of woman a man wants to be around, because she doesn't need him to complete her. She's already complete. A purposeful woman doesn't sit around waiting for the right man to show up. She's out here working on herself, on her goals, and on her future. And let me tell you, when a woman is focused on her own growth, she exudes a different kind of energy. She walks with a certain confidence, a certain strength, because she knows exactly who she is and where she's going. And when a man sees that, when he sees a woman who's got her own thing going on, it sparks something in him. He doesn't feel threatened by her ambition, by her independence. He respects it. He's inspired by it. A man who's worth your time will see that you've got your own life to live, your own dreams to chase, and he'll want to support you, build with you, and grow alongside you. But that only happens when you're clear on your purpose and you're walking in it. Now, I know some of y'all might be thinking, but I want love. I want a relationship. Doesn't that come first? Let me tell you, when you chase love, it runs from you. But when you chase your purpose, love finds you. And it doesn't find you in desperation or in a state of lack. It finds you in abundance. It finds you when you're so locked in on what you're doing with your life that you don't even have to go looking for love. It just shows up. Because a purposeful woman is magnetic. She's got a life that's full. She's not waiting for someone else to fill the void. She's got a vision that's pulling her forward. And if a man's smart, he's going to want to come along for the ride. But it's up to him to show up, to meet her where she's at, and to add to the greatness she's already creating. But here's the key. When you live your life with purpose, you don't settle for less than what you deserve. You know your worth, and you know that no one, not even the most charming man in the room, can take away your sense of value. You don't need someone else to validate your existence or make you feel complete. You're already whole. And that's what makes you irresistible. Men are drawn to women who are living with purpose because it means they're grounded, they're steady, they're focused, and a man wants to build with someone who knows what they want out of life, not someone who's looking to be rescued, not someone who's looking for someone else to complete them. A woman who's purposeful doesn't just sit around waiting for things to happen. She goes after what she wants. She takes risks. She makes things happen. She doesn't let fear stop her. And that determination, that fire, is contagious. When a man sees a woman out here chasing her dreams, making things happen, and doing it all with grace and confidence, it makes him step up. It makes him want to meet her where she's at, or even elevate himself to her level, because he sees that she's not just in it for herself. She's in it for something bigger. She's in it for the world, for her community, for the people she loves. And that, my friends, is magnetic. Let me be real with you, ladies. The power of setting boundaries is something that can completely transform your life and your relationships. And I'm not just talking about boundaries with the people around you. I'm talking about boundaries with yourself. You've got to know your limits. You've got to understand where you draw the line between what you will accept and what you won't. Because here's the deal. When you don't set clear boundaries, you leave room for disrespect, for manipulation, and for your energy to be drained by people who don't value you. And you're not out here for that. You're a queen, and queens don't allow themselves to be treated any kind of way. Here's the thing, though. Boundaries are not about control. They're not about shutting people out or being difficult. They're about respect. They're about showing yourself the love and respect you deserve. When you set boundaries, you're telling the world, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. If you want to be a part of my life, this is how you're going to treat me. And when you do that, you create a space where people know they've got to come correct or they can keep it moving. And let me tell you, men respect a woman with boundaries. They might not always like it at first, especially if they're used to getting away with disrespect, but deep down they know it's a sign of strength. It's a sign that you know your worth, and when you know your worth, that's when the respect starts to flow. But let's talk about why so many women struggle with setting boundaries. It usually comes from a place of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being alone, fear of not being liked, You might think that if you set boundaries, people will walk away, that you'll lose love or relationships. But the truth is, the right people will respect your boundaries and the wrong ones will fall away. And that's exactly what you need. You don't need people in your life who can't respect your limits. You don't need people who feel entitled to your time, your energy, or your love without reciprocating. You need people who see your boundaries and say, I want to be a part of that. I want to meet you where you're at. Let's take relationships, for example. You've got to be clear about what you will and won't accept. If a man is coming into your life with disrespect, with dishonesty, or with any form of negativity, you have to set that boundary from the start. You don't let it slide. You don't make excuses for him. You don't say, well, maybe he didn't mean it, or maybe he'll change. No, you let him know right away that this behavior is not acceptable. You let him know that if he wants to be with you, he has to come with respect, with honesty, and with integrity. And if he can't do that, well, you send him packing. You don't chase after him. You don't beg him to stay, because a man who respects you will respect your boundaries. And a man who doesn't, well, he's not worth your time. But boundaries aren't just for men. You've got to set boundaries with your friends, your family, your colleagues, everyone. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself giving so much of yourself away that you'll have nothing left. You'll burn out. And let me tell you, when you're always pouring into everyone else without filling your own cup, that's when resentment builds up. That's when you start feeling used, undervalued, and unappreciated. But when you set clear boundaries, when you tell people that your time, your energy, and your love are not to be taken for granted, you protect your peace, you keep your energy high, you make sure that when you do give, it's because you choose to, not because you feel obligated to. And here's the kicker. Setting boundaries doesn't just protect you from others, it also protects you from yourself. It protects you from falling into patterns of self-sabotage, from overextending yourself to the point where you lose sight of your own goals and dreams. When you set boundaries, you're telling yourself, this is what I'm worth. This is what I need in order to be the best version of myself. You're honoring your needs, your desires, and your vision for your life. And trust me, when you do that, the people who are meant to be in your life will respect it. They'll step up. They'll meet you where you're at because they'll know that you're not here to play games. You're not here to settle. You're here to live your life on your terms, and anyone who wants to be a part of that better come correct. So ladies, let me remind you, boundaries are not a bad word. They are your shield. They are your declaration of self-respect. And when you start setting those boundaries, you will start to see the world around you shift. You'll see people treating you with more respect. You'll see your relationships becoming healthier and more fulfilling. And you'll see yourself stepping into the life you deserve, one that's filled with love, peace, and purpose. So go ahead, set those boundaries, protect your peace, protect your energy, because when you do, you will attract the people and the experiences that are truly meant for you.